In this holy month of Ramadan, Muslims all over the world are fasting, and being or living far from home is not the reason to be absent from performing the ritual. So now, joining us via Zoom are Andi Holik Ramdhani, Indonesian residing in Okayama, Japan, who will be sharing with us his activities as Muslims staying or living abroad. Hello, Andi. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you? Apologies, Andy.
Hello, Lee. I'm good here. Hello.
Okay, great. Yeah, now we can hear you loud and clear. So, yeah,
Okay.
how are you today?
I'm good here, and in Japan now is an spring season,
Hmm.
so here we waiting for a sakura, a cherry blossoms.
Nice. I believe
Yeah.
this year's Sakura is coming a little bit late than usual, isn't it?
And yes, exactly. Because of the like the situations in Japan also the winter is coming late this
Hmm.
year, so it has a effect of this.
Okay. So, Andy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Which part of Indonesia that you came from, and
Okay.
what was the story behind you living in Japan right now? And how long have you been living in Japan?
Okay, I'm from Bandung, Indonesia, West Java. So I'm Sundanese. And in Japan, I just moved to Okayama, which is in Prefecture Okayama, last year in May. And I spent 9 years before in Sendai, Miyagi Prefecture. So in Okayama, I just live about for maybe for 1 year, but I have a lot of experience regarding of Ramadan in Japan,
Hmm.
especially uh, yeah, to have a iftar party with Indonesian and also another Muslim community from another countries. Yeah.
Wow, so you've been living in Japan for almost a decade now. That's quite a long time. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Indonesian community in Japan that you've been friends with, and how does these communities became a part of your Ramadan journey?
Okay, there is two Indonesian community in Japan. One community is for Indonesian students community, which is also available in every cities and in urban area also. And another one is for a Muslim community. We call it KMEJ, or a Muslim community family for Indonesian in Japan. Yeah.
Okay. So, Andy, you mentioned earlier that you're doing your studies right now. Can you share a little bit with your background, what kind of studies that you're doing at the moment, and do you have a lot of Muslims where you go to perform your study for this year's at Okayama?
Well, my major in Japan is quite unique because most of Indonesians are going for science or social science. My major is religious studies, which is I studies about religion in Japan and also minority religion in Japan. So because of my major, in university, I engage in many activities related into the not only in the Muslim or Islamic activities, but also interfaith discussions and also introduce Islamic countries cultures, especially Indonesians Islamic cultures to Japanese. Yeah.
Wow, that is very interesting. So, Andy, you're studying religion at the moment, and you're also performing the Ramadan ritual. Can you share
Yeah.
how it feels like for you to be somebody who's from Indonesia, a Muslim, and studying religion in Japan and performing this Ramadan this year in Okayama?
Yeah, as you know, experiencing Ramadan in Japan can be a unique and challenging experience. Well, Japan is not a predominantly Muslim country, but there is a growing recently of the Muslim populations, particularly in cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, and also Okayama, which is we have more than 1,500 Indonesian Muslim in here, Indonesian worker also, Indonesian students, and the most challenging things is because we have to adapt with the season. Like for the challenging thing is the when we have a Ramadan during the uh, uh, not in the winter, but in the summer season. In the
Mm.
summer seasons, we have like long time for Ramadan compared to spring season. But the good one is, as I talked to you before, like I can have joining Muslim communities in Japan for Ramadan iftar gatherings where Muslims come together to break their fast. And this is also the opportunity to meet fellow Muslims and share our experience. Like we can eat different Muslim countries' foods and also Indonesian foods.
That sounds amazing. From these
Mm.
pictures that I've seen on air, also seems like the
Yeah.
community is very warm and you've been meeting a lot of people there as well who are Muslims as well. So tell us a little bit about your routine during this Ramadan month in Okayama. Do you have access to go to the mosque? Do you do your nightly prayers? Share to
Mm.
us a little bit more about your routines during this Ramadan.
Okay, about the prayer facilities, while mosques are not as prevalent as in Muslim majority countries like Indonesia, but major cities in Japan have mosques where we can perform daily prayers and Tarawih prayers during the Ramadan. In Okayama, we also have a mosque which is located nearby the Okayama University, but because it's so far from my location, from my home, from my apartment, so sometimes we can perform the Tarawih with another Indonesian community in some in one of Indonesian apartment, or we can book a hall, rent a hall, and then we can manage the Tarawih prayer. Regarding the halal food, finding a halal food in Japan is becoming easier, and also in Okayama we have some restaurant that provide the halal foods. So this is not boundaries for me, but in Okayama still we have lack of the Indonesian groceries, so I have to buy from the online store. Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear that you're doing your Ramadan, quite well. And thank you for sharing your stories with us. Andi Holik Ramdhani, Indonesian residing in Okayama, Japan. Please send our best regards to Indonesian communities in Japan as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.